friends, and welcome to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and today we are going to be talking about the latest information. Now, we knew that Ewoks would be coming soon, and the first thing that we get with the Faction Pass is an extensive Ewok rework. There are currently, obviously, 4 Ewoks in the game, and every single one, with the exception of Teebo, got some really cool upgrades. Starting with Chief Chirper, they're changing his attribute from intelligence to strength. They're increasing his protection. His first special ability, Ancestral Secrets, now reads, all allies recover 10 to 20% of their max health and gain heal over time 10 to 20% for 2 to 3 turns. Ewok allies also gain retribution for 2 turns and heal over time for 1 additional turn. It can be Omega, which it could have been in the past, now adds 5% heal in addition to previous bonus of heal over time duration +1. So it extends the heal over time, but it also heals +5. His special ability, Tribal Unity, Omega, now adds minus 50% damage penalty, which there was a damage penalty before. It was, I don't remember what it was. It wasn't great. In addition to the previous bonus of all Ewoks assist. Now his leadership ability, Simple Tactics, is now a Zatable ability. Whenever an Ewok uses a special ability, a random Ewok ally has a 60% chance to assist. They're changing Ewok Elder's attribute from agility to strength. They're also increasing his protection, like Chirpa. Basic ability, Guiding Strike, upgrades 7, now adds 10% damage instead of 5% damage. Omega now adds 15% damage in addition to the previous bonus of add 10% turn meter for non-Ewok allies. His special Tribal Healer now reads Dispel all debuffs on all allies. All allies recover health equal to 10 to 30% of Ewok Elder's max health, with a 25 to 35% chance to revive defeated allies at a 1 to 15% health. Omega of that ability now adds +5 health and a +5 revive health, in addition to previous bonus of +5 revive chance. So potentially they're reviving it a higher percentage when they heal. When he uses heal, if you've lost anybody. Special ability 2, Power of the Forest, which sounds like a cool name, gains if the revived ally is an Ewok, they are called to assist, and whenever an Ewok ally is defeated, reduce the cooldown of this ability by 1. So when you're losing Ewok allies, it makes it easier for you to use the ability. So that's kind of sweet, right? Then in addition, once you have raised them, you send them into attack. I think that's a pretty sweet ability for this character. It's not something that I've seen before. Omega now adds cooldown -1 addition to the previous bonus of 15% turn meter chance. Ewok Scout also getting an increased protection. Base speed is changing from 100 to 113, which is still below the normal, the 50% mark of characters. Most characters are above the 113. I think 150 or 130 is the median for speed, but 113 is not bad, especially if you're going to throw some speed on them, which you're going to want. Now Ewok Ambush, upgrade 7, now adds 10% damage instead of 5%. Omega now adds +15% damage in addition to the previous bonus of 15% turn meter reduction chance. Rushing Attack, upgrade 6, now adds 10% damage instead of 5. Omega now adds +50% damage, and also call a random ally to assist, in addition to previous bonus of cooldown -1. His unique ability, Tribal Tactics, Omega has changed, now adds gain turn meter on a critical hit, which is sweet, in addition to previous bonus of 5% turn meter gain. So for Ewok Scout, if I remember his stats correctly, you're going to want to place potency and critical chance. Those two things are going to be very powerful and very beneficial for him. Now, Teebo really didn't get anything. Like I said before, he had his second special ability, Bring Low, is now reworded. Deal unavoidable physical damage to a target enemy and dispel all buffs on them. If any debuffs or buffs are dispelled, remove 60% turn meter. I don't remember what it said before, but it wasn't that. In addition to this news, they are really wanting people to try to farm the Ewoks. Now, my Ewok team has been 7-starred for the better part of a year, because it took me the better part of a year to get them to 7-star. I just, for anyone who's listened to this channel before, I love Ewoks. I think they're a lot of fun. My character for Edge of the Empires that I play bi-weekly is an Ewok who's amassing a droid army to go and free the people of Endor, or free the Ewoks of Endor from the Empire. It's a pretty awesome story, at least for me. If you're an Ewok hater, I totally understand. It's lame. But I think it's just a fun character to play, and I like the race, I like the story, mostly because those Ewoks are bloodthirsty little creatures, and they were going to eat Luke, Han, and Chewbacca. That's just hilarious. They're not these cute, adorable creatures. They're animals that like to eat flesh. Now, with that, I know that a lot of people have not really farmed these characters. They haven't been great. And even with these reworks, they're still not arena ready, and they're not going to change the meta. But they do want these characters to be farmed, and so they're going to have a double drop from 7/8, so in 3 days from this Friday, all the way through the end of the month, for a chance. So it says this: celebrate this furiously fuzzy faction pass with some double drops from 7/8 to 7/13. Enjoy a chance at a random Ewok location having double drops active. I'm not sure if what that means is every day from now on for the rest of the month we're going to have double drops in all of these locations, or if we're only going to have double drops in random locations and they're just going to cycle through. If that's the case, take advantage of those characters that are in the Cantina and at the lower spends. Now, what's interesting is at the very bottom of this post, and I feel like we're going to get more information tomorrow or the next day or maybe even later tonight, they say that the Ewok takeover doesn't stop here. Now, what does that mean? Now, there has been some data mining in the information for, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. If you know where to look, or have the right place to look, there are 4 characters that we see that have been data mined for this event. Now, the first one is Ewok Warrior. Now, we know that Ewok Warrior is in the game because we faced off against him already. Ewok Warrior is a character that we've already seen. We know he's in the game. We know his information's in the game. If you know where to look, you have his information. Now, Star Wars Galaxy SWGOH does have his information on the site, but it doesn't have, as you can see, it doesn't have a power listed, a speed listed, or health listed. It just has the character. But he is there. Low grade is also listed. Again, no power, no speed, no health. Same with Paplu and Wicket. Now, in the latest update, we did get some new artwork for the characters. Now, personally, I think that Chief Chirpa looks like a fat kid with a double chin in these pictures. I don't think they did Chirpa very much justice. But what I'm seeing here is quite possibly Chief Chirpa and 4 other Ewoks. Now, we obviously have the Ewok Scout, and quite possibly we are expecting at least 2 other Ewoks to be added to this. Starting from your left and moving right, it looks like this is Paplu, quite possibly low grade. Right behind him, Ewok Scout, kind of in the foreground. Behind Ewok Scout and between this bottom image, I think that is either going to be Wicket or that is going to be Ewok Warrior. And then below that, I think we have quite possibly Wicket or Ewok Warrior. We could be getting, I could be reading into this image way too much, but usually they try to keep with the artwork that they have. Now, there's a few other Ewoks that I really wish that they would have added to this game. I'm fingers crossed. We have the Ewok Han, who, as we all know, is a pretty awesome character. I would love to see Ewok Han added to the game, but I am not holding my breath. And then also Ewok Ted. He is a lesser known character, but man was he ferocious and vicious. Also kind of had a mouth on him, and definitely wasn't kid friendly, but, you know, here's hoping. You know, EA, if you're listening, CG, if you're listening, give us Ted. If not, I'd be okay with Wicket. I think Papalu would be sweet. Maybe as a starship, he could have a speeder bike. This is just a little bit of theory crafting, but what I think the August event is going to be is we're going to be given a Jedi Luke to use with our Ewok teams that we have built up, that we've established. And we are going to be fighting against NPCs in the form of Inferno Squad. The book Inferno Squad is being introduced this month. Inferno Squad will then be reintroduced in Battlefront 2, the video game, later this fall. Now, I personally believe that Battlefront 2, or Inferno Squad specifically, is the front runner, or the forerunner, for the events that take place in Episode 7. I think they are the troop, or the group, that ends up going to the unknown region with the remnants of the Empire. This is what we saw in the novel Empire's End, but I am not 100% sure. I don't think this is too far-fetched, but at the same time, it is definitely a reach. But it does make sense. So, but again, all of these events, all of these things start around the Death Star, the explosion of the second Death Star, and Ewoks were present. And if Ewoks were present, I feel like this is just the lead-in that we're going to get. Hopefully, the next two Ewoks that we get, if they're Papalu, Logray, Wicket, or even Ewok Warrior, hopefully they bring us some more viability that could make the Ewok team a functional team in the arena. Now, that is a long shot. But even if they're not, the Ewok team's a lot of fun to play. I've really enjoyed them personally. I love seeing the Ewoks destroy the pigs, the Gamorreans in round 1 of the Rancor raid. Tomorrow I'll be recording my Rancor raid, and I will be, in honor of these updates, using my Ewok team just to see how effective they are. I'm not going to be changing any mods. I'm just going to be looking at them as they are now. So be prepared to see an Ewok/Qui-Gon Jinn team with this update. Now, are you excited? Are you a little let down? Personally, I would have liked to have seen the new characters introduced, but again, I think we're going to see that in a couple of days, maybe even tomorrow. Who knows? What do you think of this new information? Leave a comment in the section below. Subscribe to our channel. Like us and share this video if you found it useful. Even if you don't find it useful, share it anyways and tell your friends. Leave a comment in the section below, though, and let me know your thoughts. This has been Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and as always, stay nerdy, my friends.